Freddie, since the last time I saw you, I think your life has changed quite a lot. It's been an amazing year for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It was one of those where last year, I think it was this time last year, where I was getting ready to go to Drogheda. So yeah, it's been a crazy year. It feels like it's been longer than a year, really. But it's been brilliant. I've loved it. It was a thing I had to do. I think I had to go prove myself. I just had to show what I was capable. I always knew that I could do this and stuff like that. But obviously the loans I was at were brilliant, and I think it just showcased what I'm about. And yeah, I'm just really excited now to be back in Lincoln. It's just it's that next step for me, and to be fair, it's like being back home. So it's good. I'm just looking forward to it.
What was going through your mind when you go? Like you said, you knew you had to go out, and I know that people like Jez and Tom and other people at the club here have been very supportive to you. But even so, was there concern going out to a different country? I know it's very similar in lots of ways, but a different country, a different league?
I think when you're a player not playing or not really getting around the team, you know you have to go. It was one of those, I knew I had to go, I had to do it. It was more of an excitement. It was like, I think it got to the stage where I just wanted to play football. I wanted to go get games, so I was just excited to go. And because it was abroad as well, it made me even more excited, because I was like, it's a new challenge. I'm going to see new people. It's going to make me probably more confident as a player and as a person. So no, it was one of those where I was just really excited to go. Obviously, Sean and Sam were there before I went, so they told me how good it was. And as soon as I went, I was so welcomed there, and it was brilliant. I loved my time there.
We've been talking to your manager at Drogheda on the Hope and Glory podcast, getting his view of you and everything. What's your take on him and Drogheda?
Yeah, the manager's brilliant there. He's a top guy. He's really helped me. I think he was one of the first managers to really believe in me, and it was just that was really important for me, and it was. He gave me my chance. I think the first 11 games I only scored 1 goal, but I was playing well. But we had a joke, I was the only striker there, but he still could have not played me, but he did. He believed that I was capable of it, and I always knew I was ready to score goals. And I think after that, I got a load of confidence, and then I went on to score 8 goals, and I think that's where my journey kind of started, really. And it was just, I'm so grateful. The club's brilliant. I think I say to a lot of the lads that are probably not playing, younger lads, go and experience it. It will kickstart your career. It's the Ireland's very very good league, and it was just I think it's an important chapter of my career so far.
So for Oisin and Hayden, it's a great opportunity for them.
Yeah. I was speaking to Osh. I think Osh obviously knows more about it because he came from Derry and stuff like that, and it's back home, so it's a bit more easier for him. But I spoke to Hayden about it. I was like, Hayden, mate, this is going to be the best part of your career so far, mate. You'll enjoy it so much. It was one of those conversations where I was kind of jealous as well, because I was I had such a good time there. I was like, you're going to have such a good time there. It'd be brilliant. But he will be able to showcase what he's about against it'll be on more showcased, and Lincoln fans will be able to see what he can do, and I think it's important for him and Osh, really, so it will be good for them.
How aware, or when did you become aware that you were being talked about a lot, not just here in Lincolnshire with Lincoln City fans, but I've got friends who cover the League of Ireland. They were talking about you. I know that as your loan went on, other clubs, senior clubs in the League of Ireland, were taking interest in you to try and get you into them. How aware were you becoming of that sort of interest?
I think it was after the Shamrock game. I think
it was the hat trick, wasn't it? Is that right?
No. The Shamrock game was where I scored as a solo goal in the League of Ireland. I think that's when I started to hear a bit more stuff. But I think it was one of them. I was always hearing stuff, but I think I knew I had to score goals, and that's what happened. That's when it kind of kick-started. But then, when I obviously got the move to Warsaw, I was so confident when I went there. I knew what I had to do, and it was one of those kind of things. I was a little bit I wanted to play here, obviously, but I think I knew I could play here. So it was one of those things where I went there, I was going to prove a point. I was going to go, yeah, I can play here, kind of thing. So I went there and I did that. But as soon as I was there, Warsaw were incredible to me. Everyone there was so good, and I really enjoyed it. It was like being at Drogheda and then at Warsaw, the 2 best loans I probably could have had. The people there were brilliant, and I think when they're like that. It's like as soon as I've been back here, the people are brilliant. So when the people are good, you enjoy football.
And was the Walsall a step up in standard at League Two? Was it another step up, but you had that confidence from Ireland?
I think Ireland helped. It's a step up from Ireland. I think you've got teams in Ireland that could probably play League One, League Two, but it varies of National League, and a few maybe not now in the league that could have gone a bit lower. But I think that's why I think I did so well in League Two, because I think that league helped me so much to progress into League Two. And I think it was one of those things where that league is just so good, it's only getting better. I think every game I played in the League of Ireland was such a test, and then when I went to Walsall, it like helped me learn like my trade a bit more. So when I was there, I was dealing with situations, I knew what to do, and I think I've never learned so much in 22 games I played at Drogheda than I have so far in my career. It was, I think anything that could have happened over there. I got a red card, I wasn't scoring, then I scored. It was ups and downs really, but and then going into Walsall, it was just, yeah, it was one of those things where I just wanted to hit the ground running.
You talked about confidence and certainly physicality. You look at a bigger physical player now than when you left, but how else do you feel that you've evolved in the year away?
To be fair, I think the last 2 games have been at Lincoln. I think you can kind of see my style of play a little bit, but I still think there's a lot more to come. You've not seen, I think you've seen my hold-up play, but I think you'll see the more power I can bring when I'm running in behind. And stuff like that. I think people don't think for such a big guy I've got good feet, but I can create some chances, and I like to, because obviously I was a midfielder back in the day. I like to think I'm really good, like technically. I've got an eye for a pass, and I try and like bring others into play a lot. And yeah, goals really. I think it was more of like mental side of the game that when I was on loan, which is I massively improved on. It was just like having that killer instinct and having that striker's instinct. I can't get away with just playing well all the time. I need to score goals, and I think that's what I did.
And then obviously coming back to Lincoln City, you'll have been aware of the injuries to some of the strikers here, like Ben and Tyler. Was that sort of the moment you start thinking that, you know, if I keep my form up, I could get recalled here? Yeah,
I think as soon as I went on loan to Walsall, I said to myself, I know I'm capable of getting recalled at any point. I think, and then when you're there, you just want to play for that team, though. So it was one of those. I was just trying to do well for myself and then for the team. And I think, obviously, when you start scoring a few goals and when the hat trick went in, you hear a lot more stuff. But I think I'm one of those people that I will take each game at a time. I'm not going to get carried away, because football's football. I've been at a stage of football where a lot's happened and it's not gone my way, so I'm just staying in one lane and just going to go and attack each game at a time, because I'm in control of that. I'm not in control of what's going to go on the outside. So it was one of those where I was just trying to score as many goals, rack up my performances as well, rack up minutes, and I think I did that.
You strike me as very level-headed. Do you think that's helped you with all the talk about you? There's been a lot of speculation about you, not just with Lincoln, but all sorts of things. You know, maybe you look at it, but you don't sort of own it and think it's all about you.
No, I think I've got that belief where I've always believed in myself, and I believe what I can do and I'm capable of, but you could all good and say like you can believe in it, I've got to go and produce it. It was one of those things where I'm not going to get carried away, I'm not going to listen to what people are saying, bad or good, because I can't really control the opinions. I can control what I'm doing on the pitch, and that's the only thing I'm going to control. And I think when I go on the pitch, it's one of those things where I treat it as like I've got to I just want to enjoy myself, and I know when I'm enjoying myself, I'm going to put in a good performance and obviously impact the game. And I think that's my job as a striker, to try and impact the game. If it's even to help the team, set pieces or stuff like that, or score goals, I'm going to do that, and that's what I go into every game, really.
Michael Skubala did some interviews before the transfer window opened. He was choosing his words carefully, but he is allowed to, as your head coach, to talk to you. So clearly you've had a conversation with him for some time. Give us an idea of what he's been saying to you and your relationship with him.
Yeah, I spoke to him. I think I found out before he was actually coming. I found out a week before I was meant to come. So I was speaking to him. He's obviously watching my games and stuff like that in detail, and he was just talking to me about that, and talking to me, like really just asking me questions of like my loans and stuff like that, and how I feel like I am as a player, and and stuff like that. And I think I've obviously, when I was injured and I came back up here for a little bit, and when he first came in, and I was watching his sessions and what he was doing on like analyst like things, but yeah, it was just like stuff that I really liked, and I was just like, yeah, I think even when I'm out training now, like the little details he goes into that's helping my movements and stuff like that, and like different kind of things, and just like making me more aware of what I can do and how I can be even more effective and stuff like that. That was really good.
And not long after Joe arrives, you must be really excited, because I think along with probably Mel and you were the three young strikers doing well at League Two level, and in a way you complement each other. It's a little bit of a throwback to some extent, the big one and the small one, but his pace and then your physicality is an interesting match.
Yeah, it is. I think when he came in, I obviously watched him and I played against him, and I think we beat Colchester 1-0. But yeah, it was. I think we know what Joe's very good at, and I think I like to think I can complement whoever I play with. So I think you saw a little bit of that against Derby, where I played him in and stuff like that, using my strength. But yeah, I think as more and more we're training together, I think the more the link-up's getting there and the more understanding. I think obviously the Wycombe game came quite quick, and we were doing quite well in training, like little movements. But I think the more you play with someone week in and week out, the more you're going to get that understanding. And I think obviously, yeah, we complement each other a lot, and I just think we know we can score goals as well. So we're just, as soon as those goals go in, they'll fly in.
We talked to Teddy after the game on Saturday. He said how exciting it was to see you two playing together and the potentials there, working in training this week, and obviously the matches you've been together. Can you feel it coming together as a partnership? I know you haven't scored yet, but coming together as a partnership?
Yeah, definitely. I think you can see that the Derby game, the excitement. I think we should have won. Let's be honest, we should have won the game. But I think the excitement of we can score goals, a lot of goals, and we both have that belief when we go near the goal, or when it's the ball's getting around the penalty box, we're going to get our head on it, or we're going to just be a nuisance. And I think that's what we're capable of. It's very exciting, obviously, to work with Joe as well. So I think it's just one of those things. As soon as the goals, as I said, go in, it would be a very dangerous partnership, I think.
Peter have had the best of Lincoln City in recent games, so you must be looking forward to, as a team, taking them on Saturday.
Yeah, I think we all know that we've in recent years not got the better of Peterborough, but I think it's one of those games where you want to go in and just forget about that and just go in and perform well and just get a win. I think me and Joe are still waiting on a goal, so we're desperate to score. So I think we're very excited. The team, we know if we play well and play how the manager wants us to play, we'll be a very dangerous team, and we'll hopefully score some goals and get the win.
And just finally, I know you started out obviously at Derby, but you've been at Lincoln a long time. And I think certainly at Wycombe, I could hear the Lincoln fans singing "He's one of our own" and stuff like that. Must be quite nice to be back and hearing that sort of support.
Yeah, it is, especially because I've not been at the club for a year, so I didn't know what kind of reaction I'd get, and I think it was one of those where it was really nice to see. I always knew the fans were really nice to me and stuff like that, and I just think when we're at home, the noise is brilliant, and obviously when they're singing your name, you can't beat it. I think it's one of those things where I just want to go and score a few goals now for them and make them cheer even more, and hopefully this song stays.